It is 9:35 in the morning. Peter Blute here, Kerry Matheson, Mike Roberts on the job. Do you have any of that little spray of that, Mike? Just a little bit, just to set the tone of the interview. I guess we don't have it. He's getting it. Oh, he is getting it. We're going to hear from a singer-songwriter, Renee Marcou, who joins us in the studio here. And I think it's safe to say she's one of those guests that kind of light up the studio. Agreed? Does everybody agree with that? Yes, I agree with that. Sounds pretty good. So you kind of a little Christina Aguilera type. And where are you from?
I'm from Wilmington.
Wilmington, Mass.
Yeah.
And when did you break into singing?
When I was 15 years old, I recorded my first cover demo in New York City.
Oh, that's great. And you've been singing ever since?
Yes.
Well, you're also here on behalf of the Baby Safe Haven legislation that is spreading in the country. It started here in Massachusetts. Mike Morrissey and his wife Jean, they were great activists who saw a problem and went out and found a reasonable way to fix it, or at least attempt to fix it, to save children's lives. And now you've become their spokesperson. Tell us why you decided to get involved.
Well, I decided to get involved because I think it's a great program. Everything positive comes out of it, too. And I was in high school when I first heard about it. I'm only 19 now, so I'm out only a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, so it always interested me, and I love giving back to the community. So
now tell us, and obviously some people know, but a lot of people might not know, what is the Baby Safe Haven law?
Well, we can all remember the tragic stories about babies being found dead in college dormitory or found clinging to life outside of a church.
Logan Airport bathroom. Yeah.
Yes, or newborns being found dead in a duffel bag on a riverbank. Now, since the passage of the Baby Safe Haven law, women can safely surrender a baby up to 7 days old.
No questions asked.
No questions asked.
And then that baby will then get into this state system of adoption. And there are a lot of people who want to adopt.
Yes.
So it's a way to kind of help young people, young women in crisis.
Right.
And deal with the problem they have. And they don't have to be so dramatic as some of these people have to risk the baby's life.
Right. And we always suggest having them call the hotline before they would have to even surrender the baby. And that hotline is 866-814-SAFE, and you can get that number at babysafehaven.com.
Now, obviously, this is a piece of legislation, a law aimed at people, your age, or a little more, a little less. Young people who, for whatever reason, made a mistake, and now they find themselves pregnant, but they can't take care of the baby, and they're desperate to find some type of option. Is this why they've chosen you to be the spokesperson? Because you can relate to that age group?
Yes, definitely.
And what kind of reaction are you getting out there?
It's been really great. It's been successful so far.
Other than the obvious reaction, Mike Roberts, that you have on people. But other than that, you've gotten a good reaction from people out there.
I think people can look up to me as a role model, my age, younger, sometimes even older. So hearing it come from someone my age and that I'm an artist, trying to make it really big, that I feel like a lot of people can relate to what I have to say.
Now, this has been operating in Massachusetts now for a number of years, 3 years, I believe, because I remember being for it and getting on the radio with Mike Morrissey and promoting it. But how has it worked, in your opinion? And as you guys look at this law 3 years out, how has it worked?
It has been very successful. Since the law passed in 2004, we've had 6 babies safely surrendered within minutes to hours of the birth. So over 35 people have used the hotline and spoke with counselors and deciding on a parenting plan or an adoption plan. And thanks to radio stations and the media mentioning the hotline on air, the program has been very successful.
Now, are there efforts to educate people about this within the high schools? Or is that too sensitive a topic to bring up?
No, we would like that too. Teachers who are listening on the radio now and like people who are around kids or around teens a lot, always, it's great for them to know about this.
I know they don't like to bring up the topic generically because it's controversial. And certainly they want to urge these young people not to, have children at a young age and all the problems that are associated with that. But then you have to raise the further issue. But if you do, here's
Exactly.
something to think about. That's a little convoluted. I'm sure it's tough to break through the morass there. Now you have this spreading movement. It started here in Massachusetts, and now state after state is adopting this. You must be very proud.
Yes, extremely proud. And I'm the first spokesmodel of the Baby Safe Haven to travel to these radio stations, so we're hoping it spreads across the whole country.
So you might have to testify in Hawaii or something,
Yes,
right? And then maybe you could get a gig, too.
I know. Throw something in with that.
Well, this is great stuff. You know, and you might want to get in touch with MTV or something. They might get behind it
Absolutely.
or something. I thought that'd be a good
I do
idea.
have a lot of contacts in MTV, so I will be spreading the word to them.
That's good. And so what's the effort now in Massachusetts just to highlight the law?
Yes, and to spread the word of the hotline, which is 866-814-SAFE, and you can get that number off our website at babysafehaven.com.
We're talking to Renee Marcou, who is a singer-songwriter, performer. She is the spokesperson for the Baby Safe Haven movement here in Massachusetts, and it's spreading across the country. It's passed everywhere in New England, right? Every state in New England. And then I guess in Hawaii, we've got some issues there. With
Hawaii is okay now.
It is okay. It's moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So how many is it? It's not all 50 states yet, is it?
No, we have 2 that are out. The 2.
Who's out? Who's out?
Alabama. No, I'm sorry. Alaska and Nebraska.
Well, Alaska, they go their own way. Okay, I serve with some Alaskans in Congress. They tend to be unique, and they go their own way. Maybe it's just self-evident in Alaska you can't abandon a baby because it's so cold.
Maybe.
But Alabama, Nebraska, I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't adopt that. It's a very kind of pro-family state, isn't it, Nebraska? So you got to get your work cut out there.
That's right.
So tell us again how you got involved in this as a 19-year-old performer. And how do you mix the two? Do you mention this at your concerts or things?
I do. I have, when I have my shows, I love to promote the Baby Safe Haven. Like I said, I think it's a great, great cause. And I love to give back to the community. So this is something that I've been rehearsing all the radio interviews in Wilmington from the city that I'm from. And Mike Morrissey, as you said before, he has his studio in Wilmington. So we've been rehearsing for a while, and we just really want to move forward with the radio stations.